Prophet ﷺ used to eat using 3 fingers. Yet this is the appropriate way of eating when a person is using his hand. Nevertheless, there is nothing wrong in not following this sunnah by eating in 5 fingers or by using the whole hand, simply because the sunnah is divided into 2 types. Sunnah that people are rewarded for, and sunnah that it is part of the human nature of the Prophet ﷺ, or of his modesty, or of the traditions at his time. For example, when someone talks about growing the beard, we say it is sunnah. What do we mean when we say it's a sunnah for men to grow their beard? We mean that it is the way of the Prophet ﷺ, and a person is rewarded for doing it. However, when we would like to give a ruling on it and classify it whether it is part of the 5 rulings in Islam, and we have 5 rulings in Islam. We have mandatory, and in the far opposite we have forbidden. So these are 2. And then when we come to the center, we have recommended, which is mustahab, preferred, voluntary things, and on the opposite side we have makruh, and in the middle we have permissible. These are the 5 rulings that can be given to any part of the religion as a ruling. So when someone tells me, what is the ruling on wearing my shoes beginning with the right foot first, I'd say this is a sunnah. And if by saying sunnah I mean that it is the way of the Prophet ﷺ, then this is correct. What is the ruling on performing Hajj once in a lifetime? I say that this is a sunnah, meaning that the Prophet had done that ﷺ. But when I am referring to the ruling whether it is forbidden, mandatory, recommended, not recommended, permissible, then the rules differ. So when I come to the ruling on wearing my shoes using the right foot, this is sunnah. If I do it, I'm rewarded. If I don't, it's not a sin. And when I come to the ruling of growing the beard for men, this is mandatory. If I do it, I'm rewarded. If I don't, if I shave it, then I am sinful. When I come to Hajj, if I do it, I'm rewarded. If I don't, I'm sinful, because it is one of the pillars of Islam. Going back to eating with the 3 fingers, to my knowledge, this is the doing of the Prophet ﷺ. However, I do not recall any evidence in the Sunnah that states that one should use the 3 fingers when he eats, which makes it part of the traditions of the Arabs. So if I use 3 fingers, alhamdulillah. If I use 5 fingers, there's nothing wrong with that. If I don't use my fingers at all, and I eat using a fork or a spoon, again, I'm not doing anything against the Sunnah, or I'm not doing anything that I'm sinful for, because there isn't anything that states it is part of the Sunnah. And I'll give you another example, and I'll conclude my answer with it. If someone comes and buys a mule, and he goes to work riding on his mule, and he goes to the masjid riding his mule, when people talk to him, what are you doing? He says, well, I'm following the Sunnah. The Prophet ﷺ used to ride a mule. We tell him that you're not rewarded for riding a mule, because this Sunnah is not part of the religion. It is the way of the Prophet ﷺ, but it is the way of the Prophet ﷺ in things that are not rewarded for. It is like wearing a certain type of clothes. If a person wears the same type of clothes that the Prophet used to wear ﷺ, we would not say that he is rewarded for it, because the Prophet ﷺ never recommended us to wear the clothes he was wearing, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.